Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Grimm.
I couldn't succeed at what I'm doing.
Alright, March was a month that happened, and yeah, let's get into it. Thank you all for asking your questions, I really do appreciate it. So let's get to answering. Nico Safer1 asks, hey, remember when I asked if you can do what if there was a 9th Digidestined with the Dark Crest and Digimon Adventure? How's the progress of it going? Are you aware that Plagued Moth is a terrible person? Did you see Doodletones addressing that roleplay one last time? Did you see Alex the Critic's Part 2 closing the book on the Starfield drama videos? If so, any thoughts? Have you seen the Game Pack Rat Hotel Mario beta version videos? What do you think of James Somerton's second apology video? Have you heard about the AI Willy Wonka at Glasgow? And did you play Unicorn Overlord demo game? Alright, we got some good ones here, so let's go down the list. Well, the first one was asked before I put out the short, so, it's out now. Sorry for the delay. Hopefully it was a good one, though. Yeah, I'm aware that Plague Moth is a terrible person. I've seen a lot of the videos covering him, and just... what the absolute fuck. It's so disgusting.
Fuck Shane Dawson!
Doodletone's video, yes, I have seen it, and... holy shit. Just... Jesus. Alex, the Critic, no, I haven't seen. I have seen the Hotel Mario beta videos, and honestly, kind of surprising. But, yeah, that was neat. James Somerton's video I wasn't a big fan of because he made a lot of the same failings as the first one, and also tried to excuse some of the, plagiarism and some of the elements that have nothing to fucking do with it for the most part. So, not a good video.
I'm sure a lot of people will call a bullshit excuse. I have memory issues because of a head injury from when I was a child. They're actually getting worse.
I have heard of the AI Willy Wonka controversy, and Jesus fucking Christ, they're making a goddamn movie out of that shit. It's like a rabbit hole. Like, you can make a whole fucking iceberg out of the entire thing. Jesus. Hopefully the people who got scammed, though, were able to get their money back. As for Unicorn Overlord, no, I haven't played it, but it does look really cool, so I'll probably look into it at some point. Sleepy Commentator asks, did you see Enter's video on Star Giant Productions, and are you aware that she deleted her channel on Twitter? Yes, I've actually seen the Enter video a few times, actually. And, it's kind of fucked that Stargiant or Rebecca would do this, because Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, she's gone, but at the same time, one, I don't expect her to stay gone, and secondly, I expect her to, well, come back, which is kind of similar to the first point, but thirdly, more than likely, Enter's already gathered enough evidence to sue her, so assuming that actually does go through, yeah, it doesn't matter if she ran, because, they got the evidence. Xans Priness asks, any thoughts on Akira Toriyama himself? What do you think is going to happen to Dragon Ball from now on, and who will take over? Which projects that Akira Toriyama has been working on do you want to see her play? Do you think that Bulma showing her panties to Kid Goku, Yamcha proposing to Kid Chi-Chi, and Master Roshi being a pervert has aged terribly? Have you played any of the Dragon Quest games? Which Akira Toriyama character designs are the weakest and best? Do you think that Akira Toriyama made Bulma fall in love with Vegeta instead of Yamcha was a horrible idea? Did Akira Toriyama absolutely despise Yamcha and had no problem making him into a joke? Do you think that romance and marriage of Goku and Chi-Chi was not only awful but also forced? Who is worse dad, Goku or Vegeta? Which better anime or manga? Dragon Ball. Do you think that Akira Toriyama continuing the Dragon Ball story with Super was a terrible idea? Best and worst fights in Dragon Ball. Favorite Dragon Ball soundtrack? What Dragon Ball GT could have been if Akira Toriyama was involved? Do you think that Chi-Chi was a horrible mother and wife? And what do you think made Goku so special as a character? It's still kind of crazy we live in a world now where Akira Toriyama's dead, just... Jesus. But let's go down the list. I think Akira Toriyama was a really damn good writer and person. He was good. I didn't always like his products, but he was still good at what he did, and props to him for being able to leave such an impact on the world. That's fantastic. As for what I think is going to happen to the future of this series, I think it's going to continue on just fine. Yeah, it hurts that Akira Toriyama has passed, but they're definitely going to continue the property because not only is Dragon Ball incredibly successful, but a lot of stuff is still going, like with Xenoverse, for instance. Sandland recently got released as a game, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's right, this is what you get! My super laser piss! Piss! Piss!
There's, of course, Sparking Zero, and the manga will probably come back after the author is ready to come back, effectively. Because right now Toyotaro is grieving the loss of his mentor and friend and all that. The projects that Akira has been working on, I'm interested in checking out Sandland. Not so much Daima because it looks like shit, personally, but whatever. As for the Bulma, Yamcha, and Roshigeg, yeah, they fucking aged poorly. Just, Jesus Christ, I know it was like, oh, so funny back in the day. Yeah, it hasn't aged well. Not exactly my cup of tea either, so, yeah, they've aged poorly. I haven't played any of the Dragon Quest games, but they look like a lot of fun. So, one day. Least favorite design, probably Semi-Perfect Cell or Commander Black, because, racist stereotypes are awkward. Best design, probably Frieza, actually. I don't know, just kind of vibe with the design. Not so much Golden Frieza, but, yeah, no, fourth form Frieza, iconic. I like it. Yeah, I do think that Bulma falling in love with Vegeta instead of Yamcha was kind of a stupid idea. Like, did Vegeta really need to be with somebody to advance his character? And, like, not really. Making Yamcha into a joke was also fucking stupid. Just, Jesus fucking Christ. What the absolute fuck? Like, the dude has moments, but Toriyama effectively making him into a punching bag was just fucking cringe. As for the romance and marriage of Goku and Chi-Chi, no, I liked it. I think it worked out really well, and there was some foreshadowing in it to an extent, the early portion of Dragon Ball. So it's not like it didn't really come out of nowhere. And I think that it works just fine. Well, when written, well, I want to specify, because sometimes when Toei writes it, they fuck it up really badly. Oh boy, the worst dad comments with Goku and Vegeta, because this has been a debate that has occurred for decades. Okay, I'm gonna say Vegeta. Flat out. Goku did make his mistakes. He absolutely has. But Vegeta wasn't the best parent to Trunks for a long time. I'm sorry, he really wasn't. The most people can say about Goku is, oh, he gave Solo Senzu Bean. Yeah, because he thought that his son could easily win. He had that much faith in his son, and when he realized that he was wrong, he immediately wanted to step back in and take care of his mess. Vegeta doesn't get that until near the end of the Cell games when he steps up for his dead son. And then there's the in-between period from Cell to Buu for Vegeta, which we don't see. He does a decent moment with present Trunks in the Buu arc where the two are training in the gravity chamber, and that was neat, but Goku was a better dad than Vegeta was for the longest time. It wasn't until around Buu Saga to Super that he was actually a good dad to his fucking child. While Goku has been a good father to Gohan and to an extent Goten for the majority of the series. So I'd have to go with Vegeta. For anime or manga, this is nostalgia talking, but I'm going to go with the anime, just because that was what I grew up with. The manga is really good though, I want to make that clear, but for me it's nostalgia talking, I gotta go with anime. As for Super, I don't think that was a terrible idea, because Battle of Gods opened up a really interesting idea, and then in Resurrection I've pissed on it, but that's not important. There was some interesting ideas Super presented. Now the execution is a different story, but no, I think that Super, in terms of its concept, was an interesting idea. So I don't think it was a terrible idea. It introduced a lot of really cool things. I mean, hell, with the later sagas like Moreau and Granola, we got fucking Ultra Ego Vegeta. That shit was fucking cool. Also Black Frieza, that shit slaps. I'm sorry, it fucking slaps, personally speaking. As for the best and worst fights, best fights, probably gonna go to either Goku versus Piccolo Jr. from original Dragon Ball. Worst fight, Goku versus Majin Vegeta. The fight was so fucking pointless. It wasn't that well executed. It was frustrating. As for GT, Akira was somewhat involved for a decent part of the series, but I don't think it could have been better if he was involved, because it's like, the man was writing for over a decade on Dragon Ball, and he was fucking burned out. So I think if he was involved in like the storytelling and shit, it probably would have been worse, because the dude was clearly burned out by the end. We saw that with the Buu arc. So I think if he was involved with GT, it probably wouldn't have been good anyways, because he just wanted to be done with the series. He effectively retired from Dragon Ball for the longest time until Battle of Gods. So I don't think him coming back for GT would have really helped outside of the designs. So, no, I don't think it would have been better if he was involved more, instead of just doing some of the character designs. As for the Chi-Chi question, no, I've talked about this before, but she's looking out for her two sons, and there's nothing wrong with that. She just wants what's best for them to give them a better future than what she had, as well as her husband. Now, as for the wife bit, some of them are played off for jokes. That's more so the fault of Toei, because fuck Toei at points. But no, she genuinely cared and respected her husband, so no, I don't think she was a terrible mother or wife. She was just doing the best that she could. As for what made Goku so special as a character, I think it had to do with the fact that at the time he was originally created, not a lot of characters were like him. He wasn't some battle-hardened warrior fighting in the apocalypse or dealing with daddy issues. He was basically an XP of Sun Wukong going to do funny little things, and then he grew into like a badass later on. But yeah, no, I think what made him special as a character is that he was different from what a lot of the protagonists were at the time. So I would have to answer with that. Atreas licok, sorry for mispronunciating that, asks, have you heard that Illumination tried to take down Think Before You Sleep because he did a video on her? Have you watched all the videos about Lyle Convoy and Hopeless Peaches? And do you think that Akira Toriyama's writing is overrated? First time I'm hearing of the Illumination situation, and just, god damn it, what the absolute fuck. I haven't seen all the videos regarding Lyle and Peaches because there's so many of these fucking things, and it's a goddamn mess because some of them can't even keep their fucking story straight, so I have no fucking idea what's going on at this point. At this rate, I'm just waiting, because if one of them is lying, we're gonna find out, not so much from them admitting it, but here's the thing about the truth. Oftentimes, the one whose story stays the most consistent as time goes on is usually telling the truth. Not always, but usually. So, I'm just waiting and seeing what happens from here. I know Lyo's putting out a fucking response, which is probably taking a while because there's a lot of allegations people keep throwing at him. But do I believe he could be lying? Yes. Do I believe the other party could be lying? Also yes. I'm just sitting back and waiting and seeing what happens, because who the fuck knows what's going to happen. As for Akira Toriyama's writing, okay, I don't like a lot of his writing at points. I wouldn't call it overrated, and I think that he has earned his spot in history as the mangaka that he is. So no, I wouldn't say that it's overrated. I think the stuff that has gotten a lot of critique has deserved it, and a lot of the stuff that has gotten a lot of praise has, for the most part, kind of deserved its praise. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, no. Killjin asks, are you aware that Sweet Baby Inc. has connections with Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn? Did you hear that the Willy Wonka Experience scam is getting a movie? Have you heard about the drama with the Glitch Productions? Did you hear that Rooster Teeth is shutting down? Did you watch Vangelina Skav's video on Essence of Thought? Any thoughts on Just a Robot's video on Armored Skeptic? Are you aware that Shaq scams animators? Did you watch Keffel's Defending Vosh video and favorite Transformers music? I am aware about the Sweet Baby Inc. connections, thanks to Sid Alpha's video on it. I've actually talked about the Willy Wonka thing earlier in the video, so that's just awkward timing, but yeah, no, I've heard of it, and oh boy, you gotta fuck up hard to get a movie about that. Or the writers are so desperate for a movie idea they're doing this. I have heard snippets of the drama with Glitch Productions, and that's about it, because I haven't been keeping up with it, but oh boy, it sounds like a mess. As for Rooster Teeth, yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with Ruby. If it does end up getting scrapped, then oh boy, that's just gonna make that fucking bit in my Volume 7 and 8 video age like fucking fine wine. Wouldn't be the first time, which I'd rather not have the future version of me be right about something. Just, I'd say these as a fucking joke, guys. Like, what the fuck? But I hope that those who got laid off are able to bounce back on their feet and are able to continue, or at least find new work or better work, because the experience of Rooster Teeth, from what I heard in the last few years, was shit. I haven't seen Vangelina Skav's video. I have watched Just a Robot in the past, but I never saw his Armored Skeptic video because it never really appealed to me. So I can't really give my thoughts on that. Sorry. As for Shaq scamming animators, I would be surprised by this, but considering that this month we got the Quiet on Set documentary and a whole bunch of people got exposed as being pieces of shit, I can't even be surprised anymore that celebrities got caught being terrible fucking people anymore. Can there be a good fucking celebrity that doesn't do this bullshit? Just, please? As for Keffel's video, I don't watch Keffel's content. I'm not a fan of her content, so I haven't seen it. And as for favorite Transformers music, either Dare from the movie or The Touch by Stan Bush. Like, peak. That was probably cringe, but I don't care. I said it anyways. And the final set of comments come from A Justice. Have you seen any compilations of Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Did you watch PokeTubers who their Wi-Fi battles? I'm assuming you mean who do Wi-Fi battles. And forget if you've been asked this, but have you read the Archie Mega Man comics? I haven't seen any compilation videos, but I've heard a lot of good things about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I probably will check out the series eventually. Just another thing to the backlog. I have seen some PokeTubers who do Wi-Fi battles, and they're alright. I know I watched a bit of Pimp Night for a while, and that was a thing. As for the Archie Mega Man comics, I've seen snippets of it, but I never really read them, but maybe one day. And that appears to be all the questions for this episode of Ask a Grimm. So, next month's going to be a bit fun. I will be producing the Survivor Australian Outback review, and that's going to be a bit of fun. And I'll be back next month as well for the next edition of Ask a Grimm. If you'd like to see your comments/questions asked on the next episode, please feel free to leave them in the comments below or in the community tab of the post that I will be linking this video to, because YouTube is being fucking stupid again, and I find that sometimes the community post doesn't have the stupid issue of removing comments automatically. So if the comment doesn't work in the YouTube comments of this video, try the community post. If not, then I'll try to think of something for next month, because I hate when YouTube does this stupid shit. Until then, thank you all for watching, and have a great day.